Welcome to today's theme park adventures, where today we'll be discussing my biggest highlights of 2023. The first highlight of 2023 is the opening day of Alton Towers, and this year was very special because we had none other than the great Cursor Alton Manor, and this is such a great ride. Alton Towers all blew us away with Cursor Alton Manor. The theming and the queue line with like all the smoke, and at night all the lights. And then it's just the atmosphere in the area makes that ride a complete package of excitement. And when I first went on it, my mind was absolutely blown. I did not know what I was seeing. So our next highlight for this video is the opening of the world of Jumanji. And we was lucky enough to go to the opening day of this great world in Chessington World of Adventures.
3, 2, 1, Jumanji!
Went on its main ride, Mayhem, it blew my mind. My first B&M coaster was a wing coaster as well, and it deserves a place here. And this has been so nice to see this world develop, and I've loved it ever since it's opened. Our next highlight is at Pleasurewood Hills, and I was finally 1.3 and I really wanted to get on this. And this is Wipeout. When I went on this, I absolutely loved it. It did wipe me out a bit, had a bit of a headache after. But it is an old Vekoma, and it's like that. Not to mention, it's also a boomerang coaster. So going backwards in a bit of rough is not very nice as well. But still, this was great to be one of my first 1.3 coasters, and it will always be there in my heart. So our next highlight on the video is Coaster Mayhem. This was an enthusiast event run by Attraction Source, and they did really good on this event with early ride time on Mayhem, their new coaster, and also one of their oldest rides, Vampire. And we got late ride time on that after the park closed, and I loved this event. We had a behind the scenes tour on Mayhem, and this was such a good event to go to, and I can't wait to go to more events like this. So our next highlight, we have Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And the reason I'm putting this in the highlights is because I was 1.3 this year, and a load of coasters at Blackpool Pleasure Beach are a 1.3 metre height restriction, and I got on a lot of coasters there, like Icon, Big One, Infusion, and also the return of everyone's favourite water ride, Valhalla, and for its reimagining from being closed so long, even though I didn't go on the original, I loved this I didn't like getting wet though, but the theming and fire was amazing. And like, I hope that this stays like this for a long time, because Valhalla was such a good water ride and I can't wait to see it again. So, one of my biggest highlights of 2023 is going to Europa Park in Germany. And this is such a great park with some epic rides such as Woden, their GCI wooden coaster, which is basically Wicker Man if it has eaten a Mayhem mushroom and just went like that. So, Blue Fire, which is better than Icon and was the prototype for those Mac coasters. And also we have Can Can Coaster, which is inside a massive golf ball and also has the very famous Can Can. And finally, probably one of the best coasters there, Euromir, because of its soundtrack. It is so good. Great soundtrack. It's like when a party but a roller coaster. So, my biggest highlight of the year is definitely my favourite park, Phantasialand. And this has my favourite ride in the world and numerous other amazing rides like Windsor's Fear and Force, both male spinning coasters, Taron for Intermin launch coaster, and of course Black Mamba for B&M suspended coaster. This park is amazing, especially for their theming, and definitely for food in Hotel Matamba, where I woke up for my 9th birthday. The food there was absolutely insane, breakfast or dinner. It is a bit expensive, but I would recommend this hotel. It is such a nice hotel with great theming, and also you can stand right outside their B&M suspended coaster, Black Mamba. I love Phantasialand, and especially my favourite coaster there, Fly. Fly is actually like just the best coaster in the world to me. The theming of it is great and I love that ride to bits. And Phantasialand blew me away, and that is why it is my biggest highlight of the year. Our next highlight of the year is Scarefest at Alton Towers. This is a yearly thing for me, and we do it every year, and I love getting on rides in the dark like Wicker Man. Wicker Man is definitely my chosen ride for going on in the dark, as it washes you through those turns, and also Big Bob himself. And that is definitely my chosen ride to go on at night, and I love getting on that this year. And also, this year, the Scarefest, they have a new scare zone called Burial Grounds, which I went in and I absolutely loved that. The theming and actors, music, everything in there was almost pitch perfect, and I loved that scare zone. And in 2023, that was such a good scare zone. In 2024, I hope it will be as good as it was. And also, I met Bianca Summit, the original director of Alton Towers, and she has done some amazing stuff at the park already, like Burial Grounds and Curse at Alton Manor, and I can't wait to see what she does next year. So our next highlight of the year is Phantasialand, and this was our first visit this year, and they had some great rides there, and my favourite ride there was definitely Odyssey, and this is a great coaster, and it is the world's tallest suspended looping coaster, and having the world's tallest SLC in the UK is crazy as well. And when I first went on this, my mind was blown. I have never been on a suspended coaster that tall, and feeling my legs dangling from that height felt pretty scary. But when I went on it, I absolutely loved it. So our next highlight of the year is Thorpe Park with their new Mack hypercoaster, Hyperia. And I watched a video and see the finished layout, and it looks absolutely amazing. And the highlight of the year is seeing a bit of track go in on the tallest coaster in the UK, what will be in 2024, and this is a Mack hypercoaster. There's a very, 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 very grim short amount on these type of rides. I think there's only 2 or 3 of them in the whole world, so getting one in the UK is very, very lucky. So my next highlight of this year is a very special one to me, and it is my new logo, and it actually looks great. And a big shout out to JP again for making this epic logo and having it on my wall, seeing it while I'm in bed, drifting off to sleep with my logo in my eyes. It was very nice. And this is a great new logo. Look at it, it's lovely. So my next highlight of the year is the IMA Score Event hosted by Thorpe Park. This was a great event with none other than IMA Score, and we got to find out a lot with IMA Score, and we even had a whole Q&A session with the creative director, Xavier, and this was a great event. And IMA Score have made a load of music such as Wicker Man or Smiler, as you might know, and have made a load of music from Thorpe Park as well. And in honour from it being from Thorpe Park as well, they even gave us a little gift, which is the Thorpe Park Island Like No Other soundtrack. Before Thorpe Park leave with their new logo, we still have memory of it in its old form right here. And yeah, that is a lovely piece of history and memory in my heart. And we also got to meet none other than a legendary roller coaster designer, John Burton, who was there as well. And he was a really nice guy. So 2023 has been an amazing year for me, since you've seen from all the highlights, and I have loved it as well. And this has been a really good year, and we now look forward to 2024, which is going to be an amazing year as well, with it being like Year of the Roller Coaster 1994, which is 30 years back now. And if you think about that, 1994 was the year of the roller coaster, with great rides such as Big One, which was the tallest coaster in the world at its time. That was really big. And then also we have Nemesis, a great John Wardley coaster, which is being refurbished now. And also Shockwave, which was the first standing up coaster, which is also being refurbished now. And in 2024, 30 years later, we have a load of new rides coming. Those rides still stand, as Nemesis is going to be coming back, reborn, with its black track and lovely veins on it. And Shockwave's coming back, not standing up, but still it's going to be a really good coaster with a new 1.2 height restriction. And Big One, that is getting retracked at the moment, and it still will be during 2024, but that is a great ride as well. It will sadly not have the record of being the tallest in the UK anymore, since Hyperia is coming, and we are all excited for that, Thorpe Park. And we also have Drayton Manor's new coaster, and also a load of other rides, but we will all love 2024 like 1994, and I just can't wait to be there. So thank you for watching Dave's Theme Park Adventures. Hope you have a big happy new year, and we'll see you in 2024.